Hello, Natalie Tarry here from Natematics. I'm here to take you through probably one of the hardest parts of the transformations part of your GCSE maths. And this is when we're enlarging to a negative scale factor. Now, I say it's the hardest. It's probably the one that students probably make the most mistakes on. So therefore, hopefully, after this example, it will be a lot easier for you. And after watching any of my videos, I highly recommend that you go away and find your own example and, perhaps follow my video with the instructions to work out how to do it, and then maybe do another one on your own without my video. And that's a good idea to see how much you've actually learned from it and how much you've taken in. So it's always a good idea to not just look at the video and do nothing with it. Have a go and practice your own afterwards. Okay, so the question here is, enlarge the shape A, scale factor -1.5, center O. Now, just a reminder, center O is the origin, so 0, 0, where the two axes meet. I'm going to move my thing here briefly. So what I'm going to do then is, just a little reminder of enlargements. Well, quick thing is with a negative scale factor is it's only referring to the direction of your new shape. So it doesn't mean that it's going to have like a negative size or anything. It's just where the shape is going to be placed on the grid. That's all, okay? Everything else is the same. So your scale factor is 1.5. So everything is 1.5 times bigger. So it's almost like, when you have like a negative indice, the -1.5 means we have the reciprocal. So you deal with the minus and then you deal with everything else afterwards. So the new shape is going to be 1.5 times bigger than the original. So as with other enlargements, the positive ones or the fractional ones, we look at how far each of the corners of the shape has been plotted from our center of enlargement. So we draw lines from the origin, because that's where our center is for this example, to each of the corners of the shape. And then we'll do something a little bit different. Okay, so here we go. Now I think there were about over 50 animations that went into this. So it took me quite a while to kind of get them all in and make sure things came in and went away at the right time. So let's look at the bottom left-hand corner first of this right angle triangle. So what's happening to this line? So we're going from the origin, because that's the center of enlargement, to one of the corners. So, well, that's going right 2 spaces. And it's always a good idea to write this out, even if you just use the word letter R, R2. So therefore, if it's a negative scaling factor, we go the opposite direction. So this is the difference between a positive and a negative scale factor. So it goes left, and then how many spaces? It's whatever the scale factor is multiplied by those spaces. So it's 2 times the scale factor, as we would with the normal enlargement. So there we are, it's 3 spaces to the left. Okay, so, well, it's not just going one direction, is it? It's going right 2 spaces and it's going up 1 space. So therefore, if we're going up 1 space, because it's negative scale factor, it's going down. And then we multiply that 1, because that's how many spaces it's moved, by the scale factor. So it's got in the new place, it will be down 1.5 spaces. So there, we've put the arrow in there. So now we've done both coordinates. So now I can just put in the red line that's telling us where that corner is. And that corner is going to be there where I've just put the arrow there. Okay, so there, we've done one of them. Now, some people will be like, okay, so I can do the other 2 coordinates, the 2 other indices, vertices, corners. Now, be my guest. I am going to take you through all 3 just to make sure that you are completely confident on this, okay? Because quite often you might think, oh, I know what I'm doing, and then the triangle goes in the wrong direction. So please watch the whole video to make sure. Right, so we're now going to go for the top left corner. So there we've got the top left. So what's happened from in what direction has this point been plotted relative to the origin? Well, it's gone across 2 spaces. It's gone right. So we've got to be specific here. Right 2 spaces. Apply the scale factor to it and the negative part. So it's going the opposite direction. So it's now going left 2 lots of 1.5 makes it 3 spaces. So it's going to go left 3 spaces. And see if you can work out the next bit. It's going up 3 spaces. So therefore, the new transformed shape is going to be going down 3 lots of the scale factor spaces, which is 4.5. So therefore, that is the place where the top corner of the triangle is going to be. Again, you might think, I know what I'm doing now. That's fine. Maybe have a guess and see if you're right by when I do the third one. So the third I keep saying indices, vertice corner is the bottom right corner of this triangle here. So we can see here, we've gone across 3 spaces and up 1. So as with all of them, I've gone through them step by step. So we've gone right 3 spaces. So therefore we're going to go left 4.5 spaces. And then we've gone up 1 space. So therefore for the new shape, transform shape, it's going to go down 1 lots of 1.5 spaces, which is 1.5. So therefore that is where our 3 corners of this triangle are going to be plotted. So now all you have to do is join the dots. Now I could have put dots in here. I actually decided to keep the lines in because when you are doing this, it's always a good idea to keep your lines in so you can see, so examiner can actually see what you've done and how you've done it, or your teacher, for example. So therefore, there you go. That is exactly where your new shape is going to be. Now it kind of looks like it's kind of reflected or not, but it's no, it is, because the shape is bigger, you can kind of see that it has been enlarged. So just to recap, a negative scale factor with enlargement means it's referring to, it goes in the opposite direction. So with a normal enlargement, with a positive scale factor, it's like that light, it kind of shines on the new shape and enlarges it out. It's like a little light, it's like a shadow. Whereas this one, it's sending it in the opposite direction. So it's almost like a shadow behind you in a sense. So hope that makes sense. And have a go yourself with your own example and see how much you understand from that. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.